Welcome in, Chiefs Kingdom, to Cheifs Latest, your one-stop spot for everything Kansas City Chiefs in 15 minutes or less. It is your host, Calvin Silvers. Happy Tuesday. We're finally over those Monday blues. We're ready to attack the week, and we're ready to attack this episode. But before we do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as we have videos daily. That's right, daily, Monday through Friday. You're not going to want to miss any of the action, so hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, as it not only helps me and the channel, but it's going to help you stay up to date with everything Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I love to start these episodes off by talking about the offense, and it's hard not to talk about the offense as much as I do, especially when your team has the best quarterback in the league and Patrick Mahomes. But we're going to start on the defensive side today, and we're going to look at Chamari Connor because the Chiefs believe that they can unlock his true potential at his safety position. Now, I think Connor will thrive in the safety position. It's his more natural position, and he's not only going to help, stop and help the pass defense, but he's going to help shore up the run defense as well. Now, why does this matter? Well, last season, the Chiefs allowed 7 yards per pass attempt. That was 12th in the league, and they fell to 16th in the league, allowing 3,970 yards overall. Now, Spagnuolo's schemes, he loves versatile defensive backs. I've talked about that before. And what we saw last year from Connor and his playmaking, I think that screams there's some potential to be unlocked, some potential breakout to happen at his more natural spot at the safety position. Looking at last season, he had 469 slot snaps. That's 64% of the time he was out there. Spags has said that Connor's instincts thrive in zone schemes, that he's a ball hawk. And you also bring in Christian Fulton to the team. That adds to the mix of cornerbacks and defensive backs. So you may see McDuffie once again more in the slot. That's going to free Connor for that safety position with Cook and with Hicks. Looking at Connor, 69 tackles with 38 solo and a 68.2 PFF grade in the playoffs, 36 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and 3 tackles for loss. Now, Chiefs last season, their secondary was lit up on a lot of slot completion, so you really need someone to cover that spot as well. So Connor fits Spag's schemes there at the safety. He wants that versatile defensive back. This also signals, once again, that Brett Beach knows what he's doing. He's trusting these gems, these later round players. Connor was a 4th-round pick, and he's rebuilding the secondary with the 4th-round pick. So Spags, once again, figuring it all out, knows that he's going to get the most potential from Connor at his more natural position. And I think Connor's safety move will help him be the most efficient athlete that he can. Now, you might be thinking, Calvin, are you going to talk about the offense now? No, I'm actually going to hold off for just a second because there are some bold, and I mean bold, AFC takes recently. Jeffrey Shadiha has some bold AFC predictions. Now, he's predicting that the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl, that Burrow will win MVP, and that the Broncos will end KC's AFC West streak. He also mentioned that the Broncos pushed Kansas City in 2024, and that's the reason why he thinks that they can overtake KC this year. The Broncos can, but a lot of teams pushed KC last year, and who ended up on top most of those times? The Chiefs. So the Chiefs have always been doubted since probably the Tyreek Hill trade. Since then, have always been doubted, have always said that they're going to be knocked off, and critics have been wrong time and time again. So until KC's beaten in the AFC West, until the Chiefs are taken down, I still have to say that they're going to win the AFC West. You still have Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league. You still have Reed, one of the top coaches, if not the best coach in the league. And you have Steve Spagnuolo, who will silence haters on the defensive side. In fact, he said the Bills will win the Super Bowl. I think the Ravens or the Bengals have more of a Super Bowl shot other than the Chiefs, obviously, especially if the Bengals can fix their defense and fix their holdout problems. Yes, the Broncos improved, but I don't think it's time yet for them to end the Chiefs' AFC West run. I'm less sure about the Chiefs making a Super Bowl than them winning the AFC West. I think they have the AFC West locked again this year. Now, will they make a Super Bowl again this year? That you could, persuade me one way or the other. However, I just don't think the Broncos are quite there yet, even though we will see Knicks take a jump. But I do think that his Burrow MVP take is fair. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I think that one's fair. But Kansas City 5-1 against AFC West last season proves they're still kings. 1-0 versus the Bengals, 1-1 versus the Broncos, and 1-1 versus the Bills, including that playoff win. You have some 2025 additions as well. Royals, Simmons, that's going to boost Mahomes and the offense, especially with the Bills, and they have some newly acquired defensive rookies. They're looking to do the same also with the Broncos defense and be shored up on the offensive side. Reed and Spags, as I mentioned, they're going to continue to outshine, I believe, Peyton and Harbaugh. So, Chiefs, once again, no surprise here, but they keep facing the doubters. But Mahomes, Reed, Spags, new additions, hopefully a healthy wide receiver room. I think that's going to drive a 2025 resurgence. Once again, they're going to not only dominate the AFC, but I think they can dominate the AFC West. All right, we're going to get to the offense now. I held off long enough, but we're going to talk about one particular player. And that is Kareem Hunt a luxury? And I think he is. I think he plays a kind of luxury role in the backfield, even if you may not believe it. Chiefs' run game, as I mentioned time and time again, nothing spectacular last season, 105.3 yards a game. That was 22nd. But Hunt and his short yardage knack, it kept drives alive. They really relied on him when they were down, 3rd and 4th and 1, 3rd and 4th and 2, whatever it may be. They really relied on him to keep drives alive, and that way he could take some pressure off Mahomes. Not only that, he's a veteran, and his presence is going to be steady for a crowded 2025 running back room. Pacheco, Mitchell, Smith. So you want some veteran presence there as well, and you just want some flexibility against defenses. Hunt stepped up after Pacheco's injury last season. He excelled once again in that short yardage. He was 9 for 11 on conversions on 3rd or 4th and 1, 3rd or 4th and 2. He had 904 scrimmage yards total in 13 games. He was vital when Pacheco was out, especially on those short distances. Andy Reid mentioned that Hunt's a pro and that he gives us options. So he signed a 1-year, $1.5 million base salary deal for 2025. He had 200 carries, 728 yards, 3.6 yards a carry with 7 touchdowns last season. As I mentioned, Pacheco injured. His stats weren't as eye-popping because of that. But Hunt is a luxury for Kansas City, and I don't think it's something that they can just let go into the dark. They do need him, and they will rely on him for his short yardage and his veteran savvy presence. So I think the backfield will be a weapon. And I kind of mentioned about Trey Smith in, I believe, yesterday's episode, but who else deserves a long-term extension, besides Trey Smith? Should anyone besides Trey Smith get a long-term deal or extension done? I think they should. I'll reveal who in a second, but Smith's franchise tag, $23.4 million in 2025, that's going to lock him up as KC's top priority, I believe, but Brett Veach, he's going to have to weigh extensions for stars like McDuffie, Karlaftis, and Pacheco even is facing some free agency coming up. So $12 million cap space. Veach obviously can't pay everyone, so these are some big choices that he's going to have to make. As I mentioned, McDuffie up for an extension, 2-time Super Bowl champ, elite in Spag's system. And you don't want to see another corner walk away. You want to keep him, especially because he's proven to you that he's worthwhile. That makes his extension urgent. In playoffs in the regular season, 223 tackles, 40 pass deflections, 4.5 sacks, and 2 interceptions, 68.5 lockdown rate. That was first last season. George Karlaftis, 8.5 sacks last season. In playoffs and regular season, 32.5 sacks, 72 quarterback hits. So, a lot going on there. 2 people that I believe deserve an extension or to be looked at for an extension. But I think McDuffie is who you have to go with more than Karlaftis. His versatility, especially with these great AFC West quarterbacks or just AFC quarterbacks overall and some good wide receivers, you want a good secondary. Karlaftis, you also have to think about because you want to be able to pressure these quarterbacks. You want to be able to pressure Nix, Herbert, Geno Smith. So, and with Pacheco's injury, I wouldn't worry right now about extending him, especially you want to see your rookie Smith and his upside. So I think you delay Pacheco's extension, especially with a deeper running back room. But I think Karlaftis and McDuffie need to be looked at. But McDuffie's the must-extend star as he needs to lock down these AFC West corners, wide receivers. His skills are just too important for Casey to just let go. He's a defensive backbone. And then you want to look at Karlaftis and then put Pacheco on the back burner. Well, that was Tuesday's episode. As I mentioned, we were ready to get right in and attack, and we did. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Like I said, it really, really helps me and the channel, and it's going to help you stay up to date with all news and rumors regarding the Kansas City Chiefs. Go ahead in the comments and leave your thoughts about Jamari Conner moving to safety full-time, what you thought of those AFC predictions. Kareem Hunt, do you think he's a luxury for the Chiefs? And who do you think should get a extension soon? As mentioned, I am Calvin Silvers. This is Cheifs Latest daily videos, Monday through Friday. Please hit that subscribe button. And until next time, have a good one.